Today on DNVR Buffs Live, a massive change is coming to Folsom Field, and I'm being completely honest, we're going to find out how I feel about it because I haven't digested it yet. So let's get into it.
You live from Studio B for Bussin'.
Let's go.
B is for big change.
Big change. Coming to Folsom Field, DNVR Buffs Live. Yeah, crazy. Brian Howell reported this morning for the first time since 1998, Folsom Field will feature artificial turf instead of natural grass. How do you feel?
Well, if I'm being completely honest, I heard about this in like December, so I've had some time to think about it, and I've just been pushing it down, and so I never did. I was kind of hoping that it wasn't true when I found out from someone whose like company was bidding on doing this that they were going to do this. I was just like, well, hopefully they put in a bad bid and they say no and stick with the grass. As someone who's born and raised in Boulder, we love grass. Grass is part of the inner being of Boulder, Colorado. But jokes aside, it's always been kind of cool. I think only 30% of Division I schools were playing on grass. Colorado, one of the few places that has a climate that can sustain grass very well. Mm-hmm. The Broncos obviously play on grass.
Yep.
And so it's always been... as far as in my lifetime, Folsom has always been grass.
Yeah.
And there are obviously benefits to playing on grass. On the other side of it, it's hard to argue with the economics of it, right, and all of the parts in the pro column of the pros and cons. Last season, I mean, I had a meltdown over the fact
right,
that they were having a concert on the field that they were going to play a game at in just a matter of weeks. And I was part of the problem because I went to the concert, but that's neither here nor there. This really opens up a lot of different opportunities for them to use the field for, including just practice.
Right. Absolutely.
You can practice more inside the field. Not that they never did it, but it's something that you kind of want to stay away from before a home game. You're able to, I don't know if you guys saw, it's announced Sundance Film Festival is coming to Boulder. Like maybe you host in some sort of event there.
Sure.
There's a lot more opportunities for what you can do with the field. And my last point on this, well, that's not true. I have lots more points. My next point on this, eventually you guys will get to talk. My next point on this is as long as Coach Prime was consulted and Correct. He was cool with this and signed off with it,
absolutely,
I'm cool.
That's how I feel as well.
My next point on this is I think the Buffs played faster on turf.
That was the 1990 team, right?
No, I mean like this team last season.
Yes.
And we've invested a lot of resources into making this team fast. And if you just go watch like the UCF game or the Arizona game, to me it just felt like that team was flying. Yeah. So maybe that was part of the reason why this was maybe more embraced from the football side of things, assuming that it was.
Your point there is something that I'm kind of coming to after I kind of take everything in. if Coach Brown, like you said, was consulted on this, I trust one of the best football players to ever live in terms of what's best for his football program and his football players, his baby. So that's kind of, I want to get that out the way first. I got some pros and some cons.
Let's do it. Let's do the yellow notepad.
What you want to start with? The good or the bad?
I think I just hit a few pros, so let's go to the cons side.
Let's go to the cons. Earlier this year, the NFLPA, which y'all know, NFL Players Association, a survey found that 92% of NFL players want to play on grass as opposed to artificial turf.
Yep.
The reason behind that is NFL players have said that playing on turf leads to more soreness and stiffness, including hamstrings, most notably hamstrings, and obviously the lower extremities. 10 of the last 11 years, studies have shown that grass is significantly safer than turf. Specifically, from 2012 to 2016, that's a decent amount of time ago, but there haven't really been massive studies since then. But from that 4-year span in NFL regular season games, research found that 16% more injuries per play on artificial turf compared to grass. One more thing on that. 27% higher rate for non-contact lower extremity injuries.
ACL.
And obviously most recently that happened to Aaron Rodgers on the turf out there in New York, and that kind of reawoke this.
That was Achilles, but yeah,
right, for
same
sure.
thing.
Right.
Because he went in on it, didn't he?
Yeah, no contact.
Yeah, he was obviously a big proponent, like a lot of NFL players, of wanting to go grass as opposed to synthetic turf. So the bottom line is synthetic turf is just associated scientifically with a higher frequency of injury than playing on grass. That's just the facts of it.
So you're about to say a higher freaking rate of injuries.
Real science. Shout out D-Mills. And actually, while I'm back on the chat, before I get to the pros, can you scroll back up to Wayne's comment?
Oh, we're gonna sidetrack this.
I'm sorry, this got to be addressed right now. Wayne, the damn meatloafer, had some meatloaf last night, and Wayne, let me know, bro. How did your sister-in-law do with the meatloaf? Because let me know, you damn meatloafer. I got to see something. I got to know something. But to the pros, there are some pros, right? And obviously, Brian wrote about some of these, and you alluded to it. 69% of FBS schools last year played on artificial turf. The Buffs, 5 of their 7 away games were on artificial turf. So they have some familiarity with this. And obviously the IPF, what they practice on is obviously artificial turf as well.
And the outdoor portion where they practice, I believe, is also turf.
The lower practice fields?
No, the upper practice fields.
Franklin?
Yeah.
I think that's grass.
Okay.
They have one field in the lower that is turf, though.
They do have that, but it's rarely used.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's like the special teams field.
So this team has some familiarity with, obviously, artificial turf, and I agree with you. They do seem that Arizona game sticks out. Like these boys fly on
and
turf.
UCF
for sure.
TCU,
Yeah.
Wasn't that turf?
I think so.
2023.
I don't know. What do you think? I don't know.
We
can look that up.
I don't even know if UCF is now that I said it out loud.
Another pro is obviously something that Rick George told Brian about. It's obviously the CFP, right? Rick George goes, I think putting turf down there gives us flexibility, certainly with the change in the college football playoff. Being a northern school, you don't grow grass after October, which I didn't really know. And having a game in December for the CFP was a big part of that consideration. Plus,
that's a great spin.
As you
Good
mentioned,
job,
it gives us another field that we can practice on daily that will benefit our football program. So that's obviously a big up as well, because I think there was a chance potentially at one point last season that the Buffs could have hosted a playoff game, and that would have been electric. And also, too, you mentioned as well the concerts, right? Like all of the revenue that could possibly be poured into the athletic department from hosting concerts, venues, and stuff like that. And that's something that Rick George also gave a comment on. He goes, it gives you flexibility on timing on when you could host an event, and it'll give us an opportunity to potentially host an event in the fall that we wouldn't ever be able to do because of grass. And look, we're one of the few schools in the North that have had grass this long. So I think the timing is right for us to do that. And my last pro is kind of what I started with, is that if Coach Prime signed off on this, I trust his judgment on all things football over anybody else. So
100%.
That's where I'm at with it.
I'm surprised you didn't say this. I feel like it takes a little bit away of like the aura of like Folsom Field, though.
It might, dude. I have always been anti-changing anything about Folsom.
Mm-hmm.
Troughs, keep them. Cracked cement, keep it. Wobbly bleachers, keep them. So to that point, yes, I'm anti all changes to Folsom until they happen, and then I just fall in love with it in a new way.
But like when you go to media day in August and you look out there and it's like perfect blue skies and the grass is just, I mean, lush, like so green, like it's almost unbelievable, and it just looks all tidy and kept. We have one of the best grounds crews in the nation here at Colorado. So that to me, I mean, it's nitpicking, but that is one of the, I think, added like downfalls of you kind of lose some of that.
At the same time, though, when you go out there, you're going to see like a perfectly drawn out Colorado, and the Ralphie logo and all of that's going to be perfect 24/7. So it'll still look great.
But even the last couple of years, just the last 3 seasons I've been covering this team, like the late games haven't. It's not like the field's been in terrible shape though. I get that
there was a couple times last year where I was surprised. Maybe it was 2 years ago. Where I was surprised that the Folsom, it was 2 years ago, that like Folsom wasn't holding up, because like to me it's always been like, of the grass surfaces, one of the best in the country. And I don't know what happened, but towards the end of
like that Oregon State game,
it was bad. Like guys were slipping. So that's another thing, is like you're getting a much more predictable surface,
right?
And it saves it from little things like that, where I remember coming out of a couple games and like the comment section, like, what the hell was wrong with the field? Also, maybe was influenced by that guy driving his truck onto the field 2 days before our first game.
Couldn't help.
Legendary.
I always liked playing on turf, though. I ain't gonna lie. When I was younger, in high school and college,
it gets so hot though when it's like early in the season.
That is 100%. You can see
black,
like you can see like the steam damn near coming
Bro,
off.
I just remember I had to put water on my cleats some games. I was like, God damn.
Jeez,
yeah, it gets really burning hot, but I don't know. I'm not gonna complain about it too much. It's gonna look nice when they play there in November now.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about these concerts 3 weeks before.
I was worried.
The opening game and stuff. And as you all said, if Coach Prime's cool with it, then absolutely, let's go.
And perhaps most importantly, Brian confirmed that the switch to artificial surface will not impact the ability of Ralphie.
That is actually very important. Now,
For real.
But they did that before in the past, right?
yeah, speaking of impacting the ability of Ralphie, let's actually impact the ability of Ralphie and get a Ralphie that has some ability. Yeah, I don't know. I guess my last point on this,
You sure?
maybe, is you're about to invest a lot of money into keeping Coach Prime around here, everyone would expect.
Right.
Last time Rick George invested a lot of money in bringing Coach Prime here, everyone said, well, how are you going to, do you have that money? He was like, nope, I'll figure it out.
That's what you're doing.
You're going to have to put more money. He's already figuring it out.
Yep.
And I think that that's part of this. Like, in the end, when you ask, why did this business or entity make this decision? A lot of times the answer is money. And this is obviously going to open up, it's going to be an upfront cost
Of $1 million.
which doesn't seem that bad.
No, it doesn't.
For down the road profits. And,
And-
you could do a concert every weekend in the summer at Folsom.
Exactly. And you offset maintenance costs with that too.
Yeah.
We were kind of, it was a talking point legitimately in August last year. After, I can't remember what the concert was, but those 3 weeks, it was always.
Tyler Childers, great concert. It was kind of like an out of body experience for me, honestly.
But like every time we'd go down and do a video with Neely, you'd be like, how does the grass look? Like,
Yes.
legitimate like storyline.
Stressful.
Yeah.
Dave brings up a good point too. He goes, turf also gets so hard when it's cold, and that is very true. Obviously, particularly late in the season, and I think about it.
So
really
does grass
for
what it's worth.
That is true.
but turf gets harder.
Okay.
Turf gets harder when it gets cold than regular grass, and I think about that in the sense of head injuries. Right, when you get slammed after making
Yes.
a catch, or if you're in the
a good
pocket
point.
and you get slammed by somebody trying to take you down for a sack, that could lead to head injuries, and I feel like that's another kind of a reason why
Turf
grass is safe.
technology has been advancing at a really high rate, though, and I'm guessing even the turf fields that you guys played on in high school were not like the way they are now.
Sure.
Probably.
And I mean, yeah, you'd imagine this is state of the art, like type of artificial surface basically that
Yes.
they're putting in at this point.
AstroTurf's Root Zone 3D3 system, which
That's
has a layer of
best in the business.
fibers. It has a layer of fibers designed for better shock absorbency and to minimize rubber splash. So two things that obviously we just talked about there that could potentially be offset a little bit by this Root Zone 3D3 system.
Yeah.
Sounds like a damn robot.
I mean, it's the Cadillac. It's the Maserati. It's the Lamborghini. It's the Louis Vuitton of turf.
It's the Saratoga of waters.
Exactly.
Sick reference.
Thanks, man.
Got the best references.
We got to take a break. I'm over it now, though. Everyone's doing like their own parody of like my morning routine. It's it's over. It's over now, guys.
Yes,
Come on,
bro. I saw the damn.
Like the teams are not like I saw like Oklahoma football. I'm like, you're like 3 days late. Come on, let's go.
No,
Bro.
the moment it was over is when I saw Nebraska do it. I was like, all right, this.
I saw the Duolingo bird do it, bro, and I was like, yeah, this is officially
It's done.
not funny.
Leave duo out of this, all right?
Let's take our first break.
Shout out to the squad over at Game Time, man. Y'all know what time it is. NCAA Tournament March Madness is back tonight. The NBA season is in full swing. Playoffs are quickly approaching. NHL season is in full swing. Playoffs are quickly approaching. And Game Time is the spot, the hub for you to buy tickets to all the games, events, concerts, venues that you want to go to. You can customize your spot. Obviously, there's priority Game Time picks as well. Curation makes it easier to save more on sports, on concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Their seat views literally give you a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you press that buy button. As always, there's a Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. And as always, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BUFFS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it, y'all?
Game time?
Game time. Also, shout out to our friends at Monarch Money. You ever just wonder where all your money's going? You need to find some extra pocket change for whatever reason. Monarch Money makes it super easy to see exactly where all your finances are going. It's a great app, puts everything in one place, your investments, your credit cards, bank accounts, and it'll show you a detailed breakdown exactly where all your money is going. Can help you save a few bucks too. You know, those subscriptions that kind of fall through the cracks that you forget that you're paying for months down the line. Monarch Money will help you basically save money. It's named Wall Street Journal's Best Budgeting App of 2025. It's the top recommended personal finance app by users and experts to over 30,000 5-star reviews. Monarch Money just makes everything easier when it comes to your money. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR.
I thought I downloaded Monarch Money last weekend, but it was just me taking Monarch Casino for all the money they had.
You went crazy.
I did.
No, you had me dead when we pulled back up to the bar that night, and there was whatever that police presence was outside. Yo, it was just like, they must have heard I robbed my yard. I'm like, oh my God, this guy.
All right. Today we are picking win total over-unders for every single Big 12 team.
Sheesh.
All these odds can be found over at our friends at Bet365. Just go in alphabetical order here.
Let's do it.
Under.
Facts.
Same. Arizona.
What's it at? I'm curious, actually. I don't know. What's it at?
What would you guess it's at?
5.5?
That's
4.5.
exactly where it's
Okay.
at. 5.5. Juice is on the over at plus 100. They're minus 130 on the under, though. I don't know, man. Like, this is just a team I feel like that's searching for an answer still. They've been looking for answers for the better part of a year at this point. They at least got to keep their quarterback, but you lose your best player. You lost captains to the transfer portal this last go around as well.
Yeah.
Didn't they end up getting back that corner that we liked,
Takario
the super
Davis?
tall one?
Think so.
What happened to him, actually?
I think he went in the portal and then withdrew.
Yeah.
Or no, I think he...
Oh, did you go to Washington?
I think so.
Oh, that's what they all should have done, to be honest.
He did go to Washington, yeah.
Gotcha.
See, everyone, there was like this big, and credit to them. I actually did give credit to Ted McMillan on the Broncos podcast for not leaving and being loyal to Arizona.
Facts.
Mhm.
But, you know, No good deed goes unpunished. Not leaving to go to Washington with Jed Fish cost Tet McMillan and Noah Fafita a lot of money.
Absolutely, it did.
Take the under.
All three on the under?
I'm going to take the over.
Really?
I think these boys are going to be bowl eligible. I think they'll get 2-6 wins.
What do you see on the schedule here?
They open up with Hawaii and Weber State, Weber State.
Okay, they're at home against Hawaii. Right?
Yeah, and Weber State. So like that should be 2 wins.
That's a non-conference game, I think. That K-State.
Yep. They're gonna lose that one. But they should be able to hang with or steal one from Oklahoma State, Houston, and potentially either Cincinnati or Baylor. And I think they get you right around 5 or 6. Again, I think we agree. Fafita's probably in for a bounce back season, even if he doesn't have T-Mac. I think they get 2-6 wins exactly. So I'll take the over.
All right.
No. I like your. I see what you're thinking and going through it, but
Yeah.
we just wow. We've been too far away from football for you to remember how just list that football team was.
Yeah.
They had no pulse.
It's true.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I remember being at that game. The student section was gone like around halftime. Like they were just, everyone was fed up.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, they were trying to get Brennan fired. They, meaning the media.
Yeah.
Trying to get Brennan fired last year after 1 year.
Yep.
In the middle of the season shit.
That's how bad it was.
Well, we'll go a
That
bit.
was crazy when I just had a stroke.
It happens. We'll go a bit more north here to Arizona State. They're listed at 8.5. One of 2 teams who get the 8.5 over under win total. That's the highest mark in the Big 12. They have the same exact non-conference schedule as last year: Northern Arizona, Mississippi State, Texas State. Games they get at home: TCU, Texas Tech, Houston, West Virginia, and Arizona. The juice for this one is on the over as well, plus 115 to go over 8.5, minus 145 on the under.
I'm gonna take the under. I think this is a good 8-win team. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I think they overachieved the last year, and I think that 8.5, right? Is that 8.5? Is a large byproduct of what Cam Scatterable was able to do. Obviously, the head coach is back, the quarterback is back, the wide receiver 1 is back, but I see 4 losses on the schedule. I'm not gonna lie.
That begs the question, and maybe it's quite a first segment topic for a whole other day. How many wins the Big 12?
That's what I was just thinking. Like
10, I would think.
that's what was it last year?
But conference wins.
Oh,
So last year it was ASU.
you played
They
9,
lost
right?
1, I think, right?
No.
Or 2. They were 7-2.
No, it was a 4-way tie.
Yeah, they were all 7-2.
Okay,
They were all 7-2.
So 7 wins.
So 7.
7? Okay,
Yeah.
7 does it again. I think it might even fall down to 6.
It could. I
Like
mean,
5-way tie with 6-3 teams.
So I like. There's
The
3
nightmare,
teams.
by the way.
3 teams with an 8.5 win total this year in the
Right.
Big 12.
And you're basically baking in 2 for the non-conference, I would assume,
Mm-hmm.
at least.
Yep.
With Arizona State, you're getting to 3, in my opinion.
Shoot, I think I'm taking the under too. Just looking at their home schedule or their road schedule, they have to go to Mississippi State
I
out
was
of
just going to
conference.
say that. That's not sweet.
They have to go to Baylor. They have to go to Utah. They have to go to Iowa State and to Colorado.
They don't have Scatteraboo. They're not going over this.
Period.
Everyone's on the under again.
Y'all were y'all weren't on the under the first one, right?
Or you went over, sorry. Right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yes, you will.
Next one, Baylor. Listed at 7.5. The juice is on the over at plus 110. They are minus 140 to go under their win total.
We should bet these, dude, because the juice is always on the over. They want fans to go in and bet their teams over.
Exactly.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
we should just take everyone's under and see who's over.
They're out of conference. They take on Auburn at home. They go to SMU. Those are 2 tough games, but then they get Samford at home. Road games at Oklahoma State, at TCU, at Cincinnati, at Arizona. So really outside of the non-conference.
Bro, they could be 3-3 going into the first bye week. I can see a loss to K-State,
Starting on too.
Arizona State, and SMU on the road. Like I can see 3 losses in the first 6 games. So I'm gonna take the under. I don't even know why 8.5 is that number.
7.5.
It's 7.5.
7.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
7 feels like the right number for them.
Right.
But you got to get to 8 to win.
I know.
I'm gonna still take the under.
I'll take the over. I'm a Sawyer Robinson believer, I think.
I am too. I was so ready to take the over when I heard the number. I'm glad Scotty keeps pulling up the schedules.
That's rough.
They're starting 0-2, and so I had 3 built in for non-conference, at least 2.
Auburn's at home though, and I think you have the better quarterback.
I think you split at best. I think you split those first 2 games. At SMU is going to be tough
For sure.
I mean, that's a playoff team, right? This past year?
Yes.
I mean,
I don't want to take the under on every Big 12 team, but I'm starting 3-0. It's under.
All right. I'll take the over on Baylor. Next one, BYU.
So you got Baylor pretty much in the championship discussion.
Yes.
In Big 12. Okay.
I think they can win around 8 or 9 games for sure.
Okay.
BYU is also at a 7.5 over/under win total. Their over is -160 though to go over 7.5. They're +130 on the under. What do you see on the schedule, Scotty?
give me the over again, please.
7.5.
7.5. Their out of conference is pretty sweet. They opened up with Portland State, Stanford, and East Carolina. That should be 3-0
for sure.
Then they come to Colorado.
3-1.
Yeah, West Virginia at Arizona. They probably win both of those. I'm taking their over.
Yeah, like I was leaning over when you said it. I'm staying over.
They close with TCU, Cincinnati, and UCF.
Worst,
those could be all wins too.
At worst, a top 3 coach and coaching staff
At
in
worst.
the conference.
Retzoff is back
At
too.
worst.
Yeah, they keep their quarterback. That's over.
I'm taking the over as well.
Yep.
Cincinnati.
Cincy.
They are listed at 6.5. Juices on the over, +110. They are -140 on the under. Taking a look at their schedule for 2025, they do play Nebraska.
1-0.
This looks like a neutral site game at Arrowhead.
For week 1?
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. Then
That's not really neutral.
Why Arrowhead?
I don't know. That's strange.
Terrible venue too.
Bowling Green, the game after that, then Northwestern State. Then they get an early bye. Road games on the Big 12 at Kansas, at Oklahoma State, at Utah, at TCU. That's pretty favorable, honestly.
Were they at 6.5?
Yep.
It's a good line.
I don't believe in the quarterback. I don't believe in the coaching staff. I'll take the under.
Oh, man. This non-conference is, unless you're a Nebraska believer, I think they get out 3-0.
They lose Corleone,
Right?
right?
Actually,
I'm going to take the under. I do think Nebraska would probably beat them week 1.
he's back.
Oh. Now that changes things for me a
He's
little
back.
bit.
Yeah, so they get their best player back.
That's a conference defensive player of the year candidate.
Actually, they only have 4 true road games.
I'm taking their over, bro.
They only have 4
Just looking
true
at the
road
schedule.
games.
All right. I think I'm swinging.
Yeah, I'll go with y'all.
Still don't trust the coach or the
Take the
quarterback, but 7 games. That's like Cincinnati football was built to win 7 games.
You feel me?
And they
I
were
agree.
like a decent team last year. Like I don't think they really pushed Colorado, but like they hung in there for a while. Like through 2.5, 3 quarters.
I was impressed.
What a win for them to be able to keep Corleone. How did they do
sure.
that? How did
It had to have
he
been
not enter the portal?
his health stuff earlier in the season that made him
He
feel like he wanted a full healthy season.
He must not have gotten a good draft grade back from the.
Because he had didn't he
Committee or
have blood
whatever.
clots earlier in the year? It was something like
Or a
I think you're right.
or it was something like a serious medical issue.
yeah. I just mean like I'm shocked a big team didn't
Oh, scoop
throw
him.
the bag.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's true. Yeah, guys that can move like that at that size for sure.
That's a $3 million transfer.
For sure. All right, we'll pick Colorado on the other side of this break. Shout out to the homies over at Lucy. Lucy Nicotine's got you covered when it comes to nicotine pouches. They also got the Breakers too. Were you a Breakers fan?
No, not a Breakers guy, but Spencer is.
Okay.
Is it like an icebreaker?
You remember, is that what those were called? They're like the little mints that were like, you could like bite them and they would like pop. They're like super minty.
I think so, yeah.
They're like kind of like a little liquid gel.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's inside your pouch. So when you win a little burst of flavor, you just break the little gel capsule.
Yep.
That sounds
And
exotic.
It is.
Sheesh.
Check them
It'll
out.
really hit you in the face.
Check them out over at Lucy Nicotine at lucy.co/DNVR. While you're there, use the promo code DNVR. You'll get 20% off your first order. They also have a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. I prefer the mango and the apple ice. Honestly, you really can't go wrong with any of their flavors, though. The espresso's good. The mint is good. And they got a whole sample pack, too, if you want to try everything. Again, that's lucy.co with the code DNVR to get 20% off. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Raising Cane's
Goats.
who are introducing a limited edition Golden Cane plush puppy. We actually have one. It's not in this studio. It's in celebration of their golden birthday. The Golden Cane will be available for a limited time, March 19th to April 29th, while supplies last. Head on over to Raising Cane's and be sure to celebrate the golden year by picking up the Golden Cane plush puppy. Net proceeds will benefit local pet organizations in your area. That's near and dear to my heart. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Nothing wrong with a little Chipotle. Could have been lunch. Lunchtime.
In our ongoing debate between Scotty and I, Kirk Cousins is currently in Cleveland.
Oh,
Just eating Chipotle.
what are these teams doing, man?
Well, bro is literally on another team, bro. I'm not even going to entertain that. He's literally on another franchise. I'm not going to entertain that right
We
now.
know what's happening in Atlanta, though.
He's going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, dude.
Is that what it is?
There's a little like thing there where there's like a band you can play with them. It's really cool.
I think they said recently too that they're not going to trade him. Atlanta. And that's what it
See
would
about
take.
that. He's literally an asset.
Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
See.
Kirk Cousins doesn't get the like I got to travel and check out the place before you trade me there treatment. Though.
Period. Yeah.
Unless he add that in the contract. I guess.
He's just there. I'm just
He's
pointing
just
out
there.
facts.
It's Chipotle, bro. And honestly, not a bad backup for Shador. Honestly. not the worst back.
I just don't. All of these teams are doing dumb shit.
It's weird.
It
man.
makes me feel so good about where the Broncos
I
stand
know,
right now.
dude,
Yeah.
I know.
All right, let's pick the Buffs.
We're talking about $50 million for Brock Purdy.
Yeah, dude.
He's going to get that.
Yikes.
He is going to get that too.
Why would you literally board up your Super Bowl window? Like
Well,
there's
it already
a
passed them
hurricane
up,
coming.
I think it already passed them up, so
So start fresh.
that's what they should do, but
Makes me sick.
I agree. They got Mac Jones too. They finally got their guy. So.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, the Colorado Buffaloes. I'd imagine we're all over. The line is somehow 6.5.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dog.
I understand the questions from like a national perspective about quarterback replacing Travis and all that. As we've talked about this entire offseason, though, I just firmly believe this team is better in all areas. They're a deeper team. They're a more talented team. They're going to run the ball better. The defensive line's still going to be monster. It's easy over for me. For the sake of just doing it, they are minus 110 on the over, minus 110 on the under.
Even money.
Even money.
Look, I mean, all we've done is make money on this since Coach Prime got here.
Literally.
And they just, like, you know, there keeps being an excuse for why we get to do it again. How are they going to replace Travis? Sure, cool, thank you. Ching.
Are they going to build an offensive line? Yes, all this stuff.
Yeah, no, this is fun. I mean, I honestly should just keep rolling over my winnings.
Low key. I'm obviously on the over too. The offensive line will be better. The defensive line will arguably be one of the best in the Big 12 again. I think they're going to lead the Big 12 in sacks again. Best cornerback trio in the Big 12, potentially in all of college football. The quarterback is going to be a dynamic playmaker or a 5-star who can literally throw the football and place the
Sniper.
football wherever he wants it. The run game is going to be better thanks to Marshall Faulk. The receiving core is again going to be elite with a versatile skill set,
And we still have a portal cycle.
and we still have
And
guys
this
that
team
are
gets better
going to the
every
edge.
single portal cycle.
Bet this before the next portal cycle.
Absolutely. Get on it now.
I think there's a chance to see you, and this is no scoop. I think there's a chance CU gets like a a big name player in this that kind of gets everyone talking.
I'd be shocked if they didn't. I'd be shocked if they didn't.
That one's pretty easy. This one's going to be interesting, though. Houston.
Oh.
The line is 5.5. Can you guess where the juice is, Scotty? Where do they want you to bet?
Probably on the over.
No, it's not.
Really?
It is minus 170 on the over 5.5. It is plus 140 to go under 5.5. They really
It's
think
5.5 or 4.5?
5.5.
Okay.
They think this team's going to be a lot better.
I'm sure they do. A lot of people do.
The Fritz
The ball
effect.
knowers.
Give me the over.
What do they have in the schedule, Scotty?
So they open up with out of conference Stephen F. Austin and Rice before
dubs.
hosting Colorado. They got Oregon State
That's not, yeah.
at Oregon State. Host Texas Tech. They go to Oklahoma State, Arizona State, West Virginia. There's a lot of
They
mid on the
dodged the
schedule.
Yeah,
Literally, they low-key dodged all the best teams.
It's over.
except for Colorado and maybe Arizona State.
Yeah, exactly.
Fritz effect over.
I'm taking the over.
I'll take it. I'll take the over. Man.
Let's go.
I want to
Wait
be, you know what I'm saying, stubborn and stand on my toes on this, but I'll take the over.
I respect that about you.
Iowa State is next.
It'd be interesting.
Listed at 7.5. The juice for them is on the over. Plus 110 to go over 7.5, minus 140 to go under.
They don't call him 8-win Matt for nothing.
Out of conference, they got South Dakota, which was that a good FCS team last year?
South Dakota State.
Just South Dakota.
That's not the Jackrabbits.
Yes,
No.
the Coyotes.
Oh.
No, they're nothing.
They open up in Ireland against K-State.
Oh, that's never good.
Oh, wow.
That's a kiss of death.
I mean, I think they was going to lose to K-State no matter where they played, but going to Ireland and then
last year it was what? Florida State and BC?
yeah,
That's a week 0 game.
And yeah, of course. And Florida State obviously died as a program. And BC kind of underachieved, I think, for what they were expecting. Didn't they end up benching my guy Castellanos at some point?
And now he's the
Yeah.
starting quarterback at Florida State, probably.
No. I'm excited to watch him. I like watching him play.
good college football, like a fun college football quarterback.
Yes.
He
Castellanos
recently
is.
said that he could be like the next Jameis Winston type quarterback at Florida State, which I don't think.
Oh, okay. Sure.
He could have at
his
least
game
said
at all.
Jordan Travis.
You know
or
who you
something.
remind me when you just said like just fun college quarterback? Remember Derek King?
Oh, he
At
was
Houston?
the best.
Yes.
At
And then
Miami.
Miami. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, he was great.
7.5 though.
Yes.
Iowa State.
0-1.
This schedule is the Big 12 schedule doesn't seem too kind to them.
They got Iowa at home. I don't know. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go under here. I think this is a 7-win team.
I think I agree with you, dude.
I think this is a 7-win team. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, I think that they lost a lot offensively.
I mean, the opener against K-State, even though it's in Dublin, that's a
That's a
tough
L.
game.
That's a L.
The Iowa game's a rivalry game. That's going to be
it's
difficult.
Tough. Luckily, they got it at home.
You go to Cincinnati, you come
won
to
it last year,
Colorado,
Did they?
to Fort Worth. And then
Oh,
you
you're right.
still-
It was Georgia Tech, not Boston College in Dublin. Georgia Tech actually kind of balled out.
Oh,
Maybe it's just the loser who gets the hangover.
I'm going under on Iowa State.
I think I'm going to take the over. Just 8. Give me 8. And I
In
think,
contention for Big 12 championship.
yep, 6 wins in conference is what I have.
The Kansas Jayhawks, their line is 7.5 also. Minus
You
145.
guys think they have the worst quarterback in the world. So.
Yeah.
I don't even need to look at the schedule for real.
minus
You said
145.
it's at
on-
7.5.
Yeah, and they've got minus 145 on the over.
I'm taking the over.
Can I
or
just
the under? Excuse me.
present one thing?
Sure.
New stadium effect. I'm saying that seriously. They're gonna they're gonna sell that place out because it's the first year of the stadium.
They got to go to Missouri this year. That's rough.
The 2 games before that are cakewalks, though.
For
You know
sure.
who Wagner's mascot is? You got a picture there.
The Hawks.
Close.
You know it?
I'm the schedule I'm seeing has it, but
I don't know what.
Seahawks.
Okay.
they also play Fresno State for their first game of the year.
Under. Easy.
Yeah, road games to UCF, Texas Tech, Arizona, and Iowa State. I'm going under.
I think I'm just gonna be our resident KU guy on the show.
All right.
Okay, give me the over. I'm a Jalen Daniels believer.
Someone's got to be.
Bounce back season.
That's crazy. I'm not going to lie. Saying you're a Jalen Daniels believer.
I am.
Kansas State, the
And
Wildcats.
unlike you, no matter what, I won't budge off the position.
Oh, man.
The Wildcats are plus 125 to go over 8.5 wins. That is their line. Minus 155 to go under 8.5.
They got Army week 3. That's not sweet.
Would hate that. They got to dedicate a third of fall camp to figuring out how to defend that defense.
That is
Literally.
not sweet. I mean, I'd be shocked if they were as good or better than they were last year, but still.
Bro, what is their...
What?
They play 2 non-Big 12 teams. I know some of them are going to be out of conference. They open up against Iowa State, then they play Arizona in week 3.
One of those have to be a Big 12 game, right? Or probably the Arizona game probably has to be.
One of them is a non-conference game, yes.
Well, it's Dublin.
Right. The Arizona game has to be a conference game.
I think that's non-conference, actually, because that was the non-conference game last year when they played.
Okay.
8.5.
So then Iowa State is in Dublin is counting as a conference game?
I'd imagine as a season opener in week 0.
Oh, man.
Just going off of last year, I know that Arizona game between K-State was a non-conference
No,
game.
it was last year. I don't think that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm
Has
guessing
anything to
Florida
do on
State,
this
Georgia
year?
Tech probably was too.
Actually, I don't know, because they've been in the same conference for forever.
Yeah, so it had to be. Conference game.
Yes.
I'm taking over on K-State. The only losses I really see on this schedule are their final 2 games, Utah and Colorado. I think they're better than Oklahoma State, Tech, Kansas, TCU, Baylor.
So you've got them winning the conference.
I probably got them at this point in the Big 12 championship game.
Okay.
I'll go over on their win total too.
I'll take the under. DJ Giddens' effect hurts too much.
It's fair.
Why is he not getting love draft-wise?
There's too many.
Yeah, there is too many, honestly.
Like, you can't give love to 10 running backs.
I guess.
No, it's
People
crazy.
just fall in love with like a few, and those are the guys who get talked about.
Yep.
But it's one of the things I've been saying. It's like people keep mocking Omari and Hampton to Denver at 20, and I'm like, I just don't think you can do that.
Just not taking a running back in the first round in this draft, in my
Unless
opinion.
it's Travion Henderson, in my opinion.
Well, to me, it's unless it's Genty. I would
Genty's out of the question.
I would not be mad about Travion Henderson. But
I think he's going to be a good player. This man Wayne is hilarious the last couple of days.
Next one, Oklahoma State, man.
Under.
They have over-under
Got to be 5.5.
of... It is 5.5. I don't know why I can't find it here. Oh, there it is. 5.5. Minus 115 on the over, minus 105 on the under. The odds makers don't really know what to do with this team.
Just get Oregon week 2. That'll wake him up.
Yikes.
That'll
beat
wake
them,
him up.
who for the conference?
I mean, legitimately, they have a chance to have the worst quarterback in this conference.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
But
this is-
everything you, well, I guess Dampier, but you guys keep telling me, oh, Kyle Whittingham is going to get it back together. Like, you don't feel that way about Gundy?
I think
No.
he could,
I don't, me personally.
but honestly, this era just of NIL and the portal, I don't think he's really embraced it, and I don't think the kids have embraced that at Oklahoma State either. So,
I feel like negative recruiting Mike Gundy would be so easy.
oh, it has to be.
I have to take the under. I don't know what I would hang on to about
Yeah.
this team. I mean,
They lose their running back. They lose their top 3 receivers, I believe.
Their best defensive players.
Yeah, Nick Martin's out of there. Right.
Edge
Yeah.
rusher too. I can't remember his name, but
Easy
this,
under.
yeah, this is going to be. Someone said Kevin Pryor said Oklahoma State needs to clean house. This might be like
Yeah.
you hit bottom so hard that all of the rich Oklahoma people that have been funding this program. I know that the main guy's not around anymore, but they're like, we got to change something.
yep. TCU.
I'll probably bet that one. I'm not gonna lie. That Oklahoma State under.
I want to bet all of them.
I'm with you, bro. I'm down.
You could do it before the portal opens. TCU's listed at 6.5. They're plus 115 on the over, minus 145 on the under.
You said 6.5?
6.5.
Yeah.
My initial leaning before seeing the schedule is over.
Same.
Who do we got?
Open up at North Carolina and
Ooh.
Bill Belichick. I'm probably give them a dub there. Bill's first game. Ooh, their schedule's tough. At Arizona State, Colorado, then at Kansas State. That's a 3-week crazy slate.
And then they got to play Baylor, whose defense is is going to be dialed.
And they go to BYU. That's a loss. 7. You said 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah. They got. No. I don't think I see it.
I mean, if they're just like they were last year where they score a ton of points and then can't stop a nosebleed, then yeah, under.
They're losing that crazy athlete they had on offense.
Savion Williams. Yep.
I knew you would.
Future Bronco.
That's a draft pod favorite right there.
Yep.
Oh man, I like TCU. I like what they're doing. I like the quarterback quite
Both
a bit.
receivers too, actually. Beck, the big white dude, he's gone.
He might be a future Bronco too.
Yeah.
He's cold. I like him.
Yeah, me too.
They just got a bad shake with the schedule.
Yeah, I think this is a 6-win team. I think they get bowl eligible, but yeah, that's rough.
I mean, let's just say they lose to North Carolina. They're going to beat Abilene Christian, even though I think Abilene Christian is the one who almost beat Oregon. No, Texas Tech in week 1 last year.
The shootout. SMU is.
They're going to lose to SMU, so now they're 1-2. Then they go Arizona State, Colorado at Kansas State. I mean, they could be 1-5 coming out of that stretch.
100%.
And then at that point, your season's kind of over.
Yeah, at that point, you're just trying to get bowl eligible.
Yeah, barely.
Right.
Guys are already calling up their new agent, transfer portal.
Yeah, I'm taking the under. Sorry, my computer died, so give me a second here. Next team we got is Texas Tech. They're listed at 8.5. Juice is on the over at plus 130.
Instant reaction is that's not a 9-win team.
Minus 160 to go under 8.5.
Now, what about they did have a really good transfer portal. I remember that.
Crushed the portal.
Yes, they did. But again, just because you spend a lot of money and you add a lot of names doesn't necessarily mean that you went crazy in the portal. But
how much do you believe in the coaching staff at Texas Tech?
I rock with Joey McGuire. They also got an Oregon State game.
Stop throwing stuff on the field.
Legend.
Yeah, they got it tough. They also got BYU, Kansas State on the schedule, Arizona State as well. Those are 3 of the 4 top teams probably in the conference this year. So I think that's 3 L's. That would put them at 9-3 right there. So I'm going under here. I'm going under.
I'm going to take the under. Again, Texas Tech football was put on this earth to win 8 games.
Swear.
I'm going to take the over. I feel like I've taken a lot of I guess it took K-State over, but
Good call.
I'll take the over. UCF is next. 6.5 is their win total.
Screaming under at me.
Yeah, the Juice is at plus 115 on the over, minus 145 on the under. Scott Frost
Scotty
is back. I don't even think they have an idea who they're going to start at quarterback this year. Out of
Also,
conference,
they have to change their colors.
Oh, yeah, they lost the battle of black and gold.
Yeah. Probably heading for like a red and white type of scheme.
They should embrace that like blue or whatever they're like the
Oh,
space
yeah.
program thing, you know.
They should do like black and blue, like galaxy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, play into the space thing.
Yeah, they kind of do sometimes, but it's unfortunate that they have to change their colors. But rules are rules.
Does North Carolina why are they playing multiple Big 12 teams this year?
I don't know.
up
Well,
with
same with SMU. SMU had Baylor and someone else on
Yeah.
the schedule. But they got Jacksonville State, North Carolina A&T, and North Carolina all at home in their out-of-conference slate. They go to K-State, go to Cincinnati, go to Baylor, go to Texas Tech, and BYU. 6.5 is the line.
I mean,
I'm going under.
so far under, in my opinion.
Scott
4.
Frost Would be elated to get bowl eligible and get to 6 wins this year.
Never did it at Nebraska.
That's crazy.
And they still wouldn't cover
I know.
the win total.
Under, for sure.
All right.
That's all of them?
No,
Oh, yeah.
we're getting to a good one here, though.
Oh,
Utah,
oh yeah.
7.5 is the line. Plus 115 on the over, minus 145 on the under.
Wait, say those odds one more time for me, bro.
Plus 115 on the over, minus
They
145
want you to
on the
bet
under.
They're
They
begging
do.
me to.
They do.
Open up with UCLA. That would be interesting. At UCLA.
Pac-12 game.
Yeah.
Then they play Cal Poly, and they go to Wyoming. Road games in the Big 12. At West Virginia, at BYU, at Baylor, at Kansas. Not terrible.
No, they got the toughest teams, bro. They got Arizona State, BYU, Colorado, and K-State.
But 3 of those 4 at
Did you
home.
say ASU too?
Yeah.
3 of those 4 at home.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's at 7.5 or 8.5.
7.5.
I'm taking the over.
And the BYU game is it's 40 miles apart.
for
Like
sure.
it'll be more BYU fans for sure, but it's not a true road game.
So again, only really 4 true road games for them this year.
Going to Provo is a true road game.
it is
Not in the travel sense,
I hear
but
you.
in
Yeah,
the sense they're going to a hostile environment, like
for sure.
extra hostile environment.
For
No,
sure.
that's fair.
I'm taking the over.
So am I. If it was at 8.5, I probably would have had to really think about this, but I think 7.5 is a little too low, so I'll take the over.
I really wish it was at 8.5.
Yeah.
Because it would make this decision easier for me.
What are you picking?
I'm going to take the under, just
Still.
stay on brand here.
All right.
I respect it.
But when I heard the number, I was like, I'm not going to be able to keep this up. Then I saw the schedule and I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah,
Last one.
I think they got the 4 toughest teams in the conference on their schedule, and they would be the 5th.
What's funny is like, have you ever seen when Adam Rank does every NFL game?
Yes.
And like,
Yeah.
because like each one affects another.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
it does.
So like if we did all of these, then we'd actually might get different results because we have to pick every game.
For sure.
100%.
For sure.
So I'm like looking at ASU, and when I see them on other team's schedule, I keep giving that team a loss.
Does that site work, you think, for this?
Oh, the tiebreaker
The Big
site?
12, yeah, the calculator site.
Maybe.
Because that'd be an interesting way to make it all work out.
Hammer it, Cornholy.
Last one is West Virginia. 5.5 is their over-under win total.
Maybe the team that I have the least feelings about.
Really?
Yeah, like I just don't.
Just don't know shit about them.
Yeah.
I mean, that is true. Minus 145 on the over to go over 5.5, plus 115 to go under.
Didn't they keep that running back that I loved?
Bro, they're at 5.5, bro. White, I think it was his last name.
Jakeem White.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going.
This out of conference
I didn't
is
know Robert Morris had a.
That's what I'm saying, bro. On first look, I don't know if you're thinking the same thing, but at first look at the schedule, I'm probably going to take the over.
yes.
I think they could start the season 4-0. Starting off with Robert Morris,
the Pitt
Ohio,
game,
Pitt, and then
that's
at
a-
Kansas.
that's
Yeah.
a rivalry.
Yeah, no, for sure.
This
a
is
big
the
time
Rich
rivalry.
Rod return.
Yes,
Better than Scott Frost.
I agree.
It's at 5.5 one more time, right?
5.5.
Yeah, I'll take the over here.
I think I'll take the over too.
Yep. There you go. Every single over-under win total for the Big 12 teams. That was fun.
Hell yeah.
Maybe we revisit like shortly before the season.
Okay.
Maybe turn up the speed a little bit.
Sure. I'll keep track of what we said today, and then we can kind of go back and
Sick.
Say less.
see if we still have the same feelings going into the season. Anything else you guys wanted to hit on, though, before we turn it over to the Toyota chat?
Let's talk to the people. You got something?
One question. Where would you rank Coach Prime
Oh,
in terms of college football head coaches? Roughly.
Oh man, I mean it's hard to say without
Sure.
very, very high.
Top 10?
Yeah.
Top 15's out of range? Top 10 for you?
Yeah.
Would you go top 5?
We're gonna go through every one of these. Why is this question?
So Greg McElroy put out his top 25 coaches in college football. Coach Prime did make the list.
Let me say this. I can think of anyone I would trade him for.
You say you can't name anybody?
I said I can't think of anyone.
Yeah. I think that's true.
He has him 22nd. Coaches behind him are Kurt Signetti, Rhett Lashley at SMU, and Kenny Dillingham. Right ahead of him,
good company.
Kalani Sitake, Mario Cristobal, Lincoln Riley, Shane Beamer.
Give me
Lance
the top
Leipold.
5.
Top 5, starting at number 1, I'd imagine it's Kirby. 2 is Ryan Day. 3 is Sark. 4 is Marcus Freeman. 5 is Dan Lanning.
Kirby's gonna make me think
Sure.
because he's got the rings.
100%.
After that, I'm pretty unmoved.
Yeah, Ryan Day, no. Sark,
How is
don't think
DeBoer
so.
already 6?
I don't know, man. I mean, he was really good at Washington. And it was his first year at Alabama. I think he does get a little bit of a pass.
But like,
for
how
last
good
year.
at Washington? Like they made a playoff, right? Or maybe even 2.
They made it a national championship game.
Yeah.
And got smoked, didn't they?
Yeah, but
I
get
agree. A lot of benefit of the doubt is being given here.
Seriously.
Where was he before? Fresno or something?
something like that, yeah. I mean, he's literally won everywhere he's gone. But Dabo's at 7. I think he's better coach than Dabo, personally.
Oh, DeBoer?
Yeah.
But Dabo, I mean, is also way overseeded based on past
How is
results.
he 8? How is Jeff Brom
Jeff
8?
Brom at Louisville is 8. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's why I was like, I got to hear this list.
Like, I think some of these guys in like the 11 to 18 are like better than some of those
Josh
guys.
Heupel I'd put higher than
Yeah.
12 for sure. Big 12 coaches on this list, though. Kenny Dillingham at 25, Coach Prime at 22, Kalani Sitake at 21, Lance Leipold at 17, Chris Kleiman at 14, Matt Campbell at 13.
Interesting.
No one in the world would trade Chris Kleiman for Coach Prime for Chris Kleiman.
I'm right there with you, bro.
You wouldn't trade Eli Drinkwitz for Coach Prime? Who is, what was
Brett
that?
Bielema?
There's not
there.
enough drinks in the world.
Brett Bielema, bro? Come
Hey,
on.
I do got respect for Brett Bielema dating back to my fans as a Wisconsin, my time as a Wisconsin football fan. Bielema has done it at a couple of Big Ten spots. I got respect for him.
All right, let's talk to the peeps.
Chatsky.
What's up, Dave? He says, "Has Prime said anything about the turf? Was this his decision? What have players thought?"
Too soon for any of all that.
Sure, it'll be a talking point when we get back to practice next week.
Yep.
Here you go, Scotty.
Is this how y'all eat it with
Mashed potatoes, sweet
Sweet
peas, and corn.
Sounds like a great meatloaf dinner. Yeah, absolutely.
It's all about that glaze on the top.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You're right, though.
It's,
I definitely don't like meatloaf now. It's about the glaze over the top. Hey, if y'all like it though, it's cool.
Northside asks if
can't say anything anymore, bro.
I know, it's crazy. Asks if Nebraska has turf. I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah,
they
there's an old story about this actually.
Let's hear it.
Well, they had grass, but the cheerleaders kept eating it all.
I'm dead.
That's not. I take no credit for that joke. That's an old one.
I've heard that many times.
That seems like a joke that's been passed from generation to generation.
Dave asks again, Folsom used to be turf, changed in late 90s, right? I think it's 1998, what it said in the article.
Yeah, that's the year.
Really? Oh, I guess
98.
so. It wasn't as long as I've been around. I don't remember that bright green. Like when I see videos of it, it's like this bright green AstroTurf.
I know.
I don't remember seeing that at all.
Do you want to know what I watched last night, actually? Just came up on my YouTube feed.
Severance.
No, I already finished that, bro. It's great. You should watch it.
Jeez, I might have to tap in for real.
I watched Chris Brown and Bobby Purify highlights of the 2002 win over Iowa State to win the Big 12 North.
Oh, that was at home, right?
Yeah.
Against Seneca Wallace.
It was mostly just running back highlights for CU. I saw
Okay.
but Purify went crazy that game.
Yeah, that was Seneca Wallace at Iowa State. Do you guys remember that name?
Oh, yeah.
Seahawks.
He
Played for
was
the Seahawks for a while.
so sick in college.
Yeah.
I was at that game, charged the field.
Really?
Yep. And I'd have to look back at the if he was on the roster. I think Matt McChesney gave me his gloves.
Wow.
At that game?
Yep.
That was the game?
Yep.
That's
That's
crazy.
dope.
I'm glad that there was a couple people that hadn't heard that joke before.
I hadn't. Shit.
That's it. Tomorrow, the last show is spring break. We almost made it, guys.
Yep. We got March Madness in an hour.
Damn.
Hopefully there's
That
actually
early?
madness this time.
Yep.
See about that.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Last show, spring break. See y'all then. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.